Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our weekly live show. I am Fabiana Claure, pianist and business strategist for musicians. I am the founder of the Musicians Profit Umbrella methodology, a framework that allows musicians to build, grow, and scale their businesses online without sacrificing their quality of life. You are in the right place if you are a musician entrepreneur that wants to learn how you can create more prosperity in your life, in your business, and also create the freedom that you deserve to be able to be free artistically, to have control over your schedule, to have control over your earning potential, and to not have to be determined or limited by any of the preconceived norms that the music industry has long established. And talking about the music industry, today's session is all about really talking about the trends and predictions that are happening already in this new year as we started 2024, and what you can do to be better prepared for adapting to the rapid shifts that are happening in our economy, in our modeling of our businesses, and in the skill sets that as musicians you need to develop to be able to be agile, to be able to be adaptive, and to create your life by design instead of reacting to other things that are happening for you. So say hello in the chat if you are joining me live. I'd love to know who is watching. Yes, somebody wrote Musicians Unite. Let's go. I love that. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's exactly what we're here for today, and really talk about how you can be better equipped for adapting to all the changes that are happening in the music industry and also in the lives of musicians themselves. So let me just share a little bit of background of why this topic is so near and dear to my heart. Is because I grew up and I went through academia. I went through all of the traditional schooling, focusing on mastering one primary skill, which was the performing side of my career, right? It was all about becoming the best performer, the best creator, the best educator that I could be, all the way to culminating in my doctorate degree. My number one focus was just to be a good musician. And although it has served me well, and I'm certainly proud of that, and I think it was a great, important part of my life, in today's day and age, the first thing you need to know is that if you are serious about scaling your business and adapting to the world we live in today with the abundance of opportunity, the abundance of information, and the need for you to develop a unique brand to set yourself apart as an artist, one thing you need to start thinking about as you look into this new year 2024 is how you need to diversify the skill sets that you've developed as an artist, as a creator, and be open to creating new skill sets, even if they may feel outside of your comfort zone initially. The number one thing that will help you adapt to the changes in the music industry and in the new trends that are happening is your ability to diversify your skill set and to be open minded about number one, becoming a good communicator. So if you're watching this, I'm seeing some people from Ohio. Hello, hello, musicians. You need to be committed to becoming an excellent communicator for your business. You see, if you have heard the saying, oh, I don't need to learn how to communicate, I'll let my music speak on its behalf, let the music do the talking. I don't need to learn how to do all this writing and talking and all these things. I'll just let my music speak for itself. That's the first misconception that I want you to clarify today, which is you need to learn how to speak on behalf of what you do. You need to learn how to communicate clearly. What is it that you are standing for? What matters for you in the work that you do? What is the bigger reason why you do what you do? All of these skill sets will only help you create a better brand identity to set yourself apart and to not feel imposter syndrome, to not feel like, oh, why would someone come to watch me when there's all these other people that are doing what I'm doing? Why would people choose me? If you've ever struggled with those thoughts or this feeling of overwhelm that there's just too much demand, there's too much opportunity, there's too many people doing what you're doing, committing to being an excellent communicator, that means understanding how to define what you do clearly enough and to allude to the value of your work in a way that resonates with your ideal clients, right? So number one is becoming a better communicator, even if it means diversifying your skill sets. Listen, when I started performing for most of my career, if we talk about just the performing side of things, even before I went into business and started learning about entrepreneurship and all of that, I remember how weird it felt to just stand on stage, perform, and leave without speaking a word to my audience. I remember it felt like at first awkward until it became the norm. And I remember as I was going through my degree education, all the different programs, that was the norm. You would stand on stage, you would perform, you wouldn't say a word, and you would get out of stage. And in fact, if you did say anything from stage, it felt weird. It was unconventional. And as I started finishing my education and now starting to branch out into like real world experiences, I actually started changing that notion into no, I actually want to speak from stage. I want to communicate to the audience my experience with this composer, the reason why I chose this piece of music, what's the history of this work, and why I'm performing it. And when I started getting out of my comfort zone in a willingness to speak more about the pieces I had chosen for that particular recital, I started to see a level of engagement from the audience, right? That was completely different. They were appreciative, they were engaged, they were curious, they came with questions. They were, excited about understanding the behind the scenes of why I even chose that piece in the first place, right? So this is the idea of, you now seeing that if you have ever experienced the value of being a better communicator on stage through the work you do as an artist, doing it in your business is no different. If up until now you have perhaps wanted to be in the shadows or not wanted to create enough visibility in your business or not wanted to stand out because you didn't want to overpower or appear too flashy or too salesy or to show off, whatever you want to think of it, I'm here to tell you that in 2024, unless you're willing to speak on behalf of your craft, you will have a lot more challenges in standing out and setting yourself apart. So, number one is become a better communicator. This is what will allow you to adapt to the busyness, the noisiness, and everything that happens around us that is captivating our attention. Becoming a better communicator will immediately set you apart. Okay. So, I want all of those of you who are watching me to commit to being a better communicator and learning and surrounding yourself with better communicators so that you start embracing this new mindset and this new skill set. It's just like music, you can learn it, right? So the second thing is understanding that your degree of strategy in the way you model your business is everything. I have spoken with way too many musicians over the years, in seeing them put a lot of time and effort in building courses, in building packaged programs, creating videos, creating PDFs, and putting low ticket price points, programs that are priced anywhere below $1,000, and putting them in the marketplace and hoping that people are going to start buying these low ticket price points courses and putting years, sometimes years of effort. I spoke the other day with someone who told me she had spent 6 years building an online library of trainings for piano programs. And, you know, when you put so much time and energy in building an online course before you actually sell it to people, you are actually setting yourself up for failure because you don't have yet the actual intelligence, the information, the real-time input from your clients. You're putting it in a vacuum, right? So being willing to reconsider how you're modeling your business and making sure that you're not putting too much time ahead of time before you actually sell your first offer or sell your online program. And instead say, how can I start creating enough of a skeleton of my program? If I want to reinvent my piano program or my voice program or my oboe program, how can I start talking about it, getting people rallied about it, and then sell it? And only once you've sold it will you actually start going through the trouble of building everything out. So if you've ever been daunted with the idea of building an online program and thinking, wow, but that's going to take months and months of my time, I really don't know where I would get started and how would it work. The good news is you don't have to do that. You can actually understand the basics, the strategies on framing your program, creating enough of an outline for it, not having to build everything out at once, and then learning how to sell it. Once again, communicate the value of that program. And only once you have paying clients that are telling you, yes, I want this thing you're building. I want to sign up for your voice program. I want to work with you in this new and innovative piano program you're creating. Only then should you commit to building it all out, which you can actually do little by little. And this is something that I do all the time with my clients, showing them how to put these stepping stones one at a time. This is how I started when I created my first online program as well. I didn't have the time to just build a whole library of trainings. I needed to know enough about positioning and strategy and the structure of my business, sell it first, And it was interesting because when I started, I was a university professor at the time. It was in early 2020. And many of my first clients in this type of online program that I built were also university professors. And at some point, they asked me, what's the syllabus for this curriculum? What's the syllabus for the program? And I didn't have everything laid out yet because I knew I wanted to build it week after week in real time, responding to what my clients needed. So I remember sharing with them, like, I'm actually going to co-create this program with you. You don't need to have everything yet. We're going to build it together. And by the end of the first 6-month cycle that I created, I had a library of trainings, but I was paid to build it. So the second advice that I want to give you is make sure that you are savvy in how you create your online programs, how you structure your business so that you get paid to build it instead of having to build it ahead of time. The last thing you want to do is spend time and energy putting your cart in front of the horse in this case. So unlike what you may have been hearing in most online offers and online recommendations and things around like build a course and create videos and then sell it passively while you sleep, my recommendation is be savvy in how you design this so that you can build it in real time with your clients and get their input into what you're building and whether or not it's what they actually need to solve their problems. Okay, so that's the second recommendation is be strategic in how you design your program. Okay. Now, the third strategy that I want you to all to think about as you're going into this new year and looking at the trends and seeing where can you create more leverage is the fact that if your business relies on you trading time for money, meaning if you have to work on a one-on-one basis, and unless you are directly in front of your students, you cannot earn a living, or if you are directly in the stage and playing, you cannot earn, then there will be a ceiling that you're going to hit because once you have given up all your time, there's no more way you can generate income. And you're always going to be restricted to working on a certain day and time in order to create revenue. And so one of the final things that I want you to understand is that your model should not rely on you trading time for money. And in today's day and age, more and more musicians are awakening to the realization that you don't have to trade your time in order to create a living. You can build online programs, you can monetize your knowledge, and you can productize your intellectual property, basically, and sell access to your experience instead of to your time. And so this is something that is incredibly valuable because when you understand how to shift what you do and transition from being the one doing the services for your clients into creating the information for them to get the results that they need, through that, everything changes. Everything changes, right? So I want you to get excited because if you apply these three strategies of understanding how to be a better communicator, understanding how to create the right type of structure for your program without putting the cart in front of the horse, and ultimately making sure you're building an offer that does not rely on your time, but instead relies on your experience, then you're going to have the winning formula that will allow you to grow your business and to adapt to the changes in 2024 and to be able to prepare for what you can do to be more agile, to be more resilient, to be more adaptive to the changes that are happening. Okay. Now, if this is interesting for you and you're interested in learning how you can scale your business and potentially re-engineer what you've been doing so that you have more flexibility, more autonomy over your time, more control over your schedule, I want to extend you an invitation to join me next week. I am going to be presenting a 5-day masterclass where I'm going to be walking you through the latest changes that my signature program, the Musician's Profit Umbrella, the framework, has allowed our clients to go from working 60, 70 hours a week to working 20 hours, from teaching 14 one-on-one lessons to teaching 1-hour lessons a week while keeping their income, from earning $4,000 a semester teaching 20 hours a week to earning $40,000 a semester teaching 10 hours a week. All of these are exact examples of what our clients have been able to achieve applying the Musician's Profit Umbrella methodology. And over the last 4 years, we've been tweaking it, adjusting it, sending it, and making different adjustments so that it can work and allow our clients to get even better results. So I decided to come to our audience and share in our masterclass next week the updates, the latest strategies that have been allowing our clients to rapidly scale their businesses. So if this is you and you're interested in seeing how you can learn for free the basics, the overview of this framework to scale your business and re-engineer your brand to become a better communicator and to ultimately build a business model that does not require you to trade your time for money, I'd like to invite you to join me in our masterclass. All you have to do is go to musiciansprofitmasterclass.com. You have an option there to register. You're going to be sent an email with all the information. You can join us live. You can watch the replays if you need to. But my gift to all of you, and starting this next new year 2024, is that you have the right guidance, the right information, and that you know that there's a better way for musicians to build prosperity in 2024. You no longer have to be on the hustling side of things. You don't have to trade your time anymore. You can actually build a prosperous career, a freedom-based lifestyle business that will allow you to reach your goals. So thank you for watching. Let me know your questions, your takeaways. Super excited to see everyone's comments in today's live. Welcome. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. My team and I are happy to welcome you into our masterclass. I hope to see you there. It's going to be fire. This is the very first time we're presenting it in this new way. So if you're interested in learning how you can redesign your music business, come on over and join us at musiciansprofitmasterclass.com. I'll see you next week. Let's prosper together.